On the next couple of slides, we are going to introduce our team. First, we have Brianni, and she is a graduate from West Georgia. She's a mass communications major, and she has worked with FinanceWise for 10 years. We also have Charles, and he is also a graduate of West Georgia, and he is a business management major. He's been working with FinanceWise for 8 years. The next employee we have is Jason. He is a graduate from West Georgia as well, with a double major in business management and marketing, and he has worked with FinanceWise for 7 years. Next up is myself. I'm Lane Braxton. I'm a graduate from West Georgia. I'm a marketing major, and I've been working with FinanceWise for 6 years. Our last two employees that are going to be working on this presentation with us is Nicholas, and he is a graduate from West Georgia. He is a business management major, and he's been working with FinanceWise for 8 years. Lastly, but not least, we have Tanika, and she is a graduate from West Georgia. She's a marketing major, and she's been working with FinanceWise for 5 years.
Our company's slogan, Doing Better Together, is definitely the epitome of what our company is about. We are definitely a company that is just very straightforward with providing a better experience for our students and a better network just to communicate with our students. There's been many of times where we've been in school and we have trouble with our financial aid department and wondering what's going on with our loans and things happening with our aid, and it becomes very stressful as a college student. So we just want to make the experience for University of West Georgia students a lot easier and a lot more fun and just very attentive to their needs as students. My name is Brianni Langford, and I am a member of FinanceWise Consulting Company. We are located in Carrollton, Georgia. Our company was founded by 6 University of West Georgia students. We've been around for a little over 10 years, and our job is really to provide a better experience for our students and build a better communication network with our students and our financial aid department at the University of West Georgia. Our company is dedicated to providing a great network of just communication, emails, flyers, you name it, social media, things that'll just get our points across and things that we want to say to our students across.
Hey y'all, my name is Lane Braxton, and I'm going to be presenting the statement of need for this presentation. So the first need that we have is external communication. In particular, this goes for the enrolled students that are on campus. The students have such a big need for the financial aid office. They really depend on this office for their grants going through, for their loans going through, and for their FAFSA to be finalized. So this all depends on if these students can even walk on the campus and start their classes, which is huge for these students. And this all starts with communication, just talking with students and getting to know them personally, understanding their situation and how to help them. And that is the first need that could move and roll into other things, is if we really just step out together and work on the external communication with stakeholders, with the students, with the campus in general. We really need to find the positive communication and how we can do best in communication and how we can work together to make communication greater than it is right now. So that's the first need we have, and we're about to go on to the second one. Another need of the financial aid office is to gain involvement in the community. Right now, it's lacking a lot of involvement in the community, and this really goes out to extending to our stakeholders, extending to the people that are providing money and just bringing in funds for the financial aid office, along with all the funds for the school, coming from alum and just businesses, companies. I think being involved in the community will bring more awareness to the university, and so that is a need that we have on this campus, is that we need to be more involved in the community so we can give back to the community and they can see the financial aid office as something more than just the negative lens that people have talked about, but they can see us as something more and something that's growing, and that they can see that there's a positive concept to this and that we will keep growing and keep being more efficient in what we're trying to do and what we're trying to make our mission statement. We just want to grow and just try to do a positive thing on this campus, and that starts with having involvement in the community. Lastly, the final need of the department is a positive department image overall. Students at the university have seen the department in a very negative lens, and we really want to boost that and just start all over and just make a very positive department image overall in the community and on campus. And that starts with meeting with students, communicating wisely with students and stakeholders internally and externally. And so we really think that our recommendations that we've given for the financial aid office will help the positive image that we are trying to gain for the office itself. And so next I'm going to pass it over to Jason that's going to tell you about the internal communications.
Here at FinanceWise, regarding the internal communication, we have selected 3 different ways of communicating that have proven to be the most effective by far. Starting with face-to-face communication, this has proven to be the most effective way of communicating, as well as the most preferred. By communicating face-to-face, it's the most personal way, and people prefer that because it's just more clarity involved, and much more can be accomplished through this way of communicating. The second most effective way in communicating internally would be text messages. Now, of course, everybody now has a phone, and usually everybody has it on them. So if you want to contact somebody immediately and you don't know where they are, you can just send them a text message. And these text messages can help improve communicating quickly with your coworkers and can eliminate any kind of confusion. Now, the third most effective way of communicating would be our online chat. And why we recommend this is because it's text messages without the phone. So basically, you're communicating to somebody through a computer, and it's live, so you'll be able to contact them in real time, and it has really helped in the workplace. And below you can see a graph which shows a preference rate among internal communication that helps understand which type of communication coworkers prefer when talking to one another.
Hey, I'm Nicholas McDuffie. I'm going to be talking about your department's external communication of the financial aid department. Our team, FinanceWise, is a consulting company that observed your company of financial aid at UWG. We have come up with ways and ideas to strengthen your department. Our firm has analyzed your external communication process and how the students and others view your department. Our team has developed ideas to implement to your department in order to further improve your department's external communication skills. Other than the suggestions that our team will provide, we have also created charts and statistical data on your communication skills. So, for the first part of your current communication, which we're going to be talking about, the first and most important is probably the email. So, the university's department of financial aid uses email as one of their prime and most important sources of communication. Important deadlines are only communicated through the use of emails. Communication to students through email is effective, but it is not useful to students who do not check their emails frequently or every day. When students email the department with questions, it usually takes a substantial amount of time for the student to receive and answer back. Our firm's mission is to put in place more information tables around campus. These tables are spread around with important information about financial aid deadlines. As shown in the chart, which there's going to be a picture, for students' communication preferences, this will inform students about important deadlines that are crucial to know without having to check your email or other technology so frequently. And the chart is just basically going to be explaining how email is most important, and then phone is the second most important, and then face-to-face is the third, and then any other kind of communication is the fourth most important. Even if a student checks their email daily, this would be a friendly reminder in case the student forgets. The second form of communication is through phone. The financial aid department communicates through phone with calls and text messages. Many of the students on campus have problems with talking on the phone with the staff members. Students will usually have to restate their question multiple times or repeat it constantly to different staff members in order to actually get an answer back or for just one simple problem to be fixed. A strategy to fix this is to help promote and build their social media platform. On the social media platform, the accounts can post frequently asked questions and answers to them. Whoever follows the social media accounts will have a greater chance of getting their questions being answered without having to call. Ways of promotion can be accomplished through ads, posters, through the website. We basically want to invest more money into advertising with clothing, events, and giveaways. So for the third communication skill that they use is face-to-face. Instead of using technology such as emails or phones for communication, this department has face-to-face meetings. So students can go to the financial aid office and sit down with a staff member and talk about their problems or whatever they need to be talked about. Face-to-face is a good form of communication, but the employees of the financial aid lack the skills of connecting with the students on a personal level. So they kind of lack, getting to know someone or asking basic questions to make the student feel, important. This dissatisfied the students' needs by seeming like they are not really important or they're not being thought of that much. Our consulting company can help the financial aid office by teaching them how to communicate more positively while connecting with them personally. If the department becomes more interactive with their students and parents, then both will be more satisfied. There are a lot of positive communication skills with your department, but with just some changes implemented from our firm, your department can improve substantially. The public's perception will view your department in a much better way. As illustrated in the chart, 1.2, our firm compared your past communication style to the new ideas that our firm will offer. Our new suggestion can lead to better feedback, but it can also help your department save a tremendous amount of money.
For the first recommendation, to help the financial aid department, we must create a better department image. In order to improve the department's image, we can incorporate a friendlier staff. This staff should be sociable and approachable, allowing students to have a better likeliness of the financial aid department. The next point of interest should be training days. While having training days may be annoying at first, they sure will pay off in the end once the departments become more likable. These training days are a good way to practice how to talk to students. Remember, practice makes perfect, and practice what you preach. The second recommendation is to increase student involvement. If we can integrate some students on the staff, then we could make the financial aid department a little more relatable. Once this has been done, then we can establish posting and spreading the department's information throughout social media. This way, the department gets noticed more. Another recommendation for increasing student involvement would have to be checkpoints and tables on campus. These tables could have information and knowledge on the department that also gets the students involved. The last recommendation that I have for the Department of Financial Aid would be the student participation to promote the department. I feel like incentives such as giveaways and contests would pique the students' interests. When the students become interested, they will start to get involved more within the department. Another recommendation would have to deal with volunteer work, sponsors, and connections, whether that be physically or emotionally. Volunteer work is something good to put on a resume for future references. Sponsors and connections can go a long way if the financial aid department will just open up and learn from the students. In this type of scenario, the students need to work with the department as much as the department needs to work with the students. It is a give to receive and a receive to give relationship. This concludes the recommendations to help the financial aid department strive once again.
I believe that our department or our consultation company, finance-wise, will last longer than other organizations or departments due to our relationship with our students and the relationship with the University of West Georgia's financial aid department. We are building a better communication network with both the school and our students to provide a better experience for our students and to make them feel like they're appreciated as students at the University of West Georgia.
The amount of time and effort that it takes for your coworkers to understand and to put these recommendations in place really doesn't take that long. Once these coworkers of yours starts to see how it takes to communicate effectively, it will come to them immediately, and they can start to practice our recommendations at the workplace, and essentially it will come to them naturally. And the amount of communication and the way people are communicating will become more effective and much more productive in the workplace.
So for the question, tell me again how the finance-wise recommendation will improve our department or organization's image. Our firm will improve your department or organization's image in many ways. People will have a different perception of your overall attitude towards students and parents. People will see your attitude as more caring and concerned with the students, and will know that you are connecting with them on a personal level. Your image of time efficiency will improve as well. Students will recognize that the responses they have to their questions will be answered much quicker through the different and more unique changes of the department. So the changes we're going to implement in your department will help y'all respond much faster to students, and this will lead to also the parents being more satisfied. The image of financial aid overall will just be viewed as more of a positive and friendlier environment to do business with.
My question is, why would working with your consulting company be a smart choice and or investment? I believe working with FinanceWise would be very beneficial, not just for the financial aid department, but for any other company seeking help. My team and I will help you with your company in any possible way. We are hardworking, loyal, and optimistic when it comes to our duty. We have not let anybody down, and you won't be the first.
Thank you so much for that question. If you didn't hear it, she asked, why should we trust your recommendations to improve our department or organization now and into the future? And so thank you so much for that. I think that you should trust our recommendations because we've worked with big businesses and corporations like Walmart and Dillard's, as well as different universities like Georgia College in Milledgeville, Georgia. And we have gone over the same exact things with their finances and how to make them stick to their mission statement and what their mission statement calls for them, and just how to grow that part of the departments for them. And so the recommendations that we've provided are pretty similar to the recommendations that we provided for them in their times of need. And so partnering with FinanceWise Consulting Company, you'll really get the recommendations that will work best for your company and work best for your department, and that we can really strive to see what are we missing and how can we fulfill that area instead of just skipping over it. We can actually strive to knock down the areas that we're failing in and actually build them back up sturdier than they've ever been before. So that's why I think that you should listen to our recommendations. We've really thought really hard into them, and we think that they'd be very successful.